Hello, happy Homebrew Wednesday. Andrew here, running on beer, and today's video is going to be just a quick little tour of my homebrew system. It's an electric system that I built myself, so it's kind of cobbled together. Without further ado, here it is. Alright, so this is my brew system tour. This is an entirely home-built system that I ordered parts from various vendors, including eBay, probably some Amazon, probably some SparkFun. I think some came from Micro Center Mall. You get the idea. It's from everything. So the first and probably most important thing of this system is up here. It is the SPA panel. This is basically a 220 volt GFCI. It makes sure that if something happens somewhere else in my entire cobbled together system, and somehow current is leaking to ground instead of going back through it, it kills the power before it kills me. That's pretty freaking important. So next we have, this is my Mashtun controller. Now I don't have the Mashtun in place because you'll all laugh at me when you see that I tend to put my Mashtun on the left side of the counter and my boil kettle on the right side. And this is on the right side, the boil kettle controller is on the left side. This right here is a PID controller. It says use for the current temperature because it's not hooked up. It's set to 32 right now because that's what I left it on. Frequently after I've set everything up, I tend to set it just really low so it won't turn on. And 32 is cold enough that even in my freezing ass basement, it won't turn on. The hole here was originally going to be for a switch. I never wired it in. Inside of here there's a solid state relay with a heatsink on it, and there is an outlet on the side to control it right here. The red and white wire is for a temperature sensor that is in my boil kettle. I'm sorry, hot liquor tun. Next, if we go over here, this is my boil kettle controller. Yeah, it looks kind of screwed up, partly because it overheats very easily. I haven't figured out why, other than that the box is smaller than the PID controller, but that's probably a large part of it. So there's a couple things about this. This is very similar to the way the PID controller works, except that instead of using a PID controller right here, I've got an Arduino Micro that is connected to controlled by a linear knob. This is just a simple controller. It's got a name. It'll be in the parts, or it'll be in the show notes. But instead of being a PID controller that turns this on and off, it outputs a pulse width modulation signal that when I turn it on, you can see it's starting to blink. Let me zoom this in here, see if I can get it to focus properly. Yeah, sort of. I guess it's a little out of focus, but you can see it's blinking. If I turn it up to 2, it'll blink more. Let's go to 6. It's blinking a lot more. Yes, I realize the 6 is backwards. If we put it all the way up to 11, it turns straight on. Yes, my boil kettle controller goes up to 11.
It's very, very special because if you can see, the numbers all go to 11.
So we'll go ahead and turn that down to off. This right here is a power supply for the Arduino and for a little fan here. The fan is trying to keep it cool enough, and for the most part it'll keep it cool enough. These solid state relays that I use have a tendency that if they fail closed, which means that the boil kettle will turn on full blast and just keep going. So I try to keep it cool. The same thing actually happens with the PID controller also. So the only other thing of note is I do have power here. It is GFCI protected, of course, and this turns on my vent fan that is right above here. And that's it. Alright, hope you enjoyed that little tour of my system. Have a good one. Cheers. And if you like what you see, feel free to give me a subscribe or a like. Cheers.